Our victory at Gronder was certainly a turning point for us. However, Rodrigue's death has been difficult to bear. We've lost considerable military strength and resources.
Are there no lords we can Are there no lords we can rely on?
Unfortunately, with things as they are now, I don't think House Gautier has any resources to spare.
I'm sorry. I really wish we could help. If only House Galatea had anything to give.
If we split up the soldiers currently defending the monastery, we should have sufficient numbers to invade the Empire. But even then...
Your Highness, you should be resting. Your wounds are still healing.
I am well, I assure you. More importantly, may I have a moment of your time? Thank you. I wish to apologize to all of you. I have led you down this dark path with me, and have caused so much suffering along the way. I cannot tell you how sorry I am for my behavior. There is no apology I could offer that would be sufficient.
And how do you intend to make up for my father's death?
Felix, I realize words alone are not enough to repent, but I fear they are all I have.
I'm not after more empty words. I want you to speak through your actions.
I know that no amount of regret can ever bring back the lives we have lost. I know that well. It is like patching up a tear with a different material. Things can never be as they were. The best I can hope for is to make things whole again. I wish to do the right thing from now on. That is why I have made a decision. I intend to take back the kingdom capital. I wish to save our people. Those who I turned my back on for far too long. To follow my heart and do the right thing. That is the only way I can atone for my sins.
Your Highness. If we can win back Ferdinand, it will give us the advantage in our war against the Empire. As one who has served the royal family for ages, know that your words bring me great joy and pride. That said, I must point out that if we make for Ferdinand, the Emperor's head will slip further out of reach. Can you live with that?
I still hold hatred in my heart for her, and for the ones responsible for the tragedy. That I will carry with me until death. But my life is my own. It belongs to no one else, and it is high time that I started living for what I believe in. I will no longer allow the voices of the dead to bind me. This is something that I must do. No. Something that I am choosing to do. I will accomplish my aim, even if it means risking my life to do so.
Understood, Your Highness. So, any objections?
Count me in.
You are correct. We cannot afford to die in vain by recklessly challenging the Empire.
I'm worried about Lady Rhea. But if this is the choice you've made, I support it.
I am at your command, Your Highness. I will follow you anywhere.
My sword is at your service, Your Highness.
I'll help too. The people in Ferdiad need us.
Fine, I'll help you, in my father's stead. But in return, you must win. You know that, don't you, Dimitri?
I do. And I swear on my father's lance that we will prevail.
Then it is decided. It seems this war council has much to discuss. Our next stop is Ferdiad, the kingdom capital, for the future of Fargus.
Yes! We can finally talk to friggin' Dimitri again. Still training?
Indeed, but I was thinking about ending it here. Perhaps it is the gloomy weather, but I am feeling the sting of wounds that should have healed long ago.
What wounds?
The injury I got when that girl stabbed me after the battle at Gronder. Her eyes were filled with revenge, just as mine once were.
Who was she?
I don't know, but I have a guess. I suppose I haven't told you about that yet.
What are you talking about?
I was attacked inside the monastery the other day. It caused quite the uproar. The ones who attacked me were some of the youths we taught swordsmanship to once upon a time.
Why did they do it?
It seems they were raised by a group of thieves we put down 5 years ago. I heard Lady Rhea took custody of them, claiming that the children were innocent. I have taken so many lives, and with each one I face hatred. During the last 5 years especially. My life was not so different from that of a wild beast, and that young girl's brother. At some point I must have... That is why I thought it only natural that someone would retaliate someday. Because I hated, because I stole, and because I killed. But with those children, it's different. We drew our blades with the best of intentions, only to hurt them in the end. I suppose this is yet another thing we will just have to live with.
I feel the same.
Yes. As one who chose to fight, it is my responsibility to confront this anguish and the true nature of war, until the day my life comes to an end.
We can confront it together.
Thank you. You know, Professor, there is something that I only recently realized. I never knew it could be so comforting to have someone standing by my side.
Hey, easy now, buddy. I like you. But I don't... But not in that direction. Calm down. Anyways. Supports! Oh, good God, yes, finally. What chapter is this? Chapter 18, chat. So 18, 19, 20, 21. 18, 19, 20. So 5 chapters to go. Oh, we're getting closer.
Your Highness, you still have scars on your back. It does you no good to languish in pain. I will procure some medicine.
No, it is fine. Though they are still deep, these are from 9 years ago. They do not hurt any longer. Besides, it would be a shame if the scars I got from protecting you were to fade. I bear these scars proudly. It makes me think that it was worthwhile that someone like me survived.
To hear you say such things.
Dedu, you say that I saved you. But do you know that you also saved me that day? If I had been unable to save anyone, I would have been the sole survivor. I would have had no reason to keep living. But I saved someone. Saved you. That and that alone has always been my crutch.
When I stood before those soldiers and their swords that day, I was prepared to die. But then, you suddenly appeared, and you shielded me. I knew then that a savior's hand could reach into even the deepest darkness.
Not a problem, Grouchy. Have a good night. Thanks for stopping by. Hope to see you again tomorrow.
I still have not been able to repay that debt.
Have you not heard a word I've said? You have saved me in countless ways. 5 years ago, I did nothing but await my execution within my jail cell. Was it not you that saved me?
That was nothing more than my duty as your vassal.
Listen, Dedu, perhaps you consider me to be someone special, but I think the same of you. You are irreplaceable, cherished. So stop saying that we cannot be friends. Stop saying such awful things.
Please, Do not look at me that way. You promised me you would build a kingdom that is proud to boast of Duscar blood. In this kingdom, where there is no distinction between the people of Duscar and the people of Fodlan, will I finally, without reservation, be able to call you my friend? Will I, Dimitri?
Dedue.
Now just
Yes,
hug both of
will
you.
call
Come
me your
on.
friend again and
Dimitri's
again,
needed it for years
no matter
now.
how many hardships I must endure.
I will do all I can to bring about that world as well. To be your friend is what I have always wanted.
Is that so? I am glad to hear it.
But until that time, we must allow no harm to befall you. So please call upon me when you walk alone at night. And even when you go out in the day, please tell me where you are going and whom you are meeting.
In the end, I suppose there is no fixing your overprotectiveness, is there? I suppose I can live with that.
I have a question for you. Answer quickly before my hand slips and I cut you in half.
Always so ominous. Well, what is it, Felix?
Sometimes you have an animal's face, contorted with anger and bloodlust. At other times, a man's with a friendly smile. Which is your true face?
Do not waste your breath on questions with such obvious answers. They are both the real me. My father, my friends, Glenn, they all meant a great deal to me. And they were all brutally slaughtered. I alone survived. If I do not shoulder the anguish and regret they must have felt, who will?
So that's how you justify your atrocities.
What do you mean?
I will fulfill my duty to the late king. My old man used to say that over and over like a mantra. How nauseating. No one seems to understand. The dead won't acknowledge your loyalty. They don't care. What a load of bunk it is, pretending to serve a corpse. You're serving your own ego.
You are wrong.
No, I'm not. The dead are dead. The living are living. You have to respect that boundary. If you keep stringing gravestones around your neck, you'll snap.
Even still, I cannot forget them, nor can I let them go.
Then keep those thoughts to yourself. If you're too weak to do that, abandon your throne. Become a gravekeeper.
Felix.
I'm not immune to emotion, you know. Far from it. I haven't gone a day without questioning why my father and brother had to die, while I survived. I'll bear this pain until the day I die, but I refuse to wallow in it. I have more important things to do than blubber for my whole life.
You know, Felix, you really are growing more and more like your brother. Always so sarcastic and constantly looking for a fight. But deep inside, more than anyone, you...
What are you getting at?
Oh, it's nothing. But allow me to thank you. Your perspective has opened my eyes.
Not my intention. I couldn't stand the pathetic look on your face, that's all.
I see. If you say so, then we will leave it at that.
Good evening, Dimitri. Have you come to pray?
Something like that. And you?
Oh yes, that's why I'm here. I love how calm and peaceful the cathedral is this late at night.
It really is.
Coming here on a quiet night always makes me think of those who aren't with us anymore. We've lost so many in this war, too many to count. I hope they all get to live in eternal happiness at the goddess's side. These prayers are all I have to offer.
You are a kind soul, Mercedes.
I think you're kind too, Dimitri. Sometimes to a fault.
Kind? Me? No, not at all. I am just a killer. A disgusting monster.
But why do you kill? For the sake of your loved ones? Those who have passed? Real monsters kill for selfish reasons. They're incapable of expressing sorrow when they kill. So please, don't call yourself a monster.
Mercedes, I am scared. So scared that I will forget their faces. The people who have died. Who I have killed. I cannot let myself forget them. I know that, and yet... Whatever my feelings, it is all the act of a monster.
It's sad, but the truth is that people forget. You may be afraid to forget your past, but you'll never be able to revisit it. Living in the present is the best we can do. We owe it to those who can't come back.
If someone had said those words to me 5 years ago, I would be a different man today.
What do you want to do now, Dimitri? Continue fighting for those who have died? Not as a king, but as my classmate. What do you want to do?
My own dreams. I have never given it any thought. What about you? What do you want, Mercedes?
I want to keep sewing and training with you, even after you've become king. I want to be your friend.
But I have no right to stand beside you.
Please, I can't hear any more of this self-deprecation. I just want to be by your side. Is that so much to ask?
Mercedes. I want the same thing. If you allow it, I wish to stay by your side.
I'm glad I'm not the only one who feels that way. Let's spend a little more time here together, just the two of us.
Boom. Let's see how adorable
Your
this gets.
Highness, I have one more favor to ask.
Is this about Gustav again? I have plenty more stories about him, but perhaps it is time for you to speak with him yourself.
Oh, it's not about Father this time. This time I wanted to ask about you.
About me?
I mean, I heard all about Father last time, but I didn't ask about you.
Ah, well, I'm afraid there is not much of interest for me to tell you.
Oh, it doesn't have to be funny or interesting. That's not why I'm asking. It's just that I thought I already knew you, but I'm not sure I really do. That day when we were reunited at the monastery, I didn't know what to say to you. So I wanted to prepare some of your favorite food. I thought maybe if you ate something that you liked, you'd cheer up a little. But when I got to the kitchen, I realized I didn't even know what you like to eat.
I see. Well, it's a little hard to say what my favorite is. I just don't really have any strong feelings about food. That said, you're pretty keen on sweet things, right, Annette?
Yes, that's right. I'm at my happiest when I'm digging into a sweet treat. Oh, did you know there's a famous sweet shop in the capital?
Yes. It often had long lines outside, didn't it? The castle guards often spoke of it.
The sweets were so good. They cost a fortune, but I loved them. When Father was still around, we all lived as a family in the capital. Since then, I've had them only a few times. How I'd love to taste them again.
Say, Annette, when this war is over, where will you go? I heard that you were close to Baron Dominic back in the academy days.
That's right. But that's not where I think I'd like to go when all of this is over. I reconnected with Father, so I'd like to live with my family again, in the capital. Also, if I'm in the capital, I'll be able to see you from time to time, right?
Ah, that settles it then. We'll have to get your father working twice as hard.
Father's at a ripe old age now. I'd appreciate it if you didn't work him too hard.
Oh, of course. I will keep that in mind.
All right, a few more to go. Oh.
Finally, you score a point against me on the ground. You have improved, Ingrid.
That was nothing more than a fluke. My technique was horribly sloppy that last round.
It does not matter what sort of technique it was. You won. If this had been a real battle, I would be dead. You wielded your lance well, without any hesitation. Has your approach changed?
You may recall when I said I'm now able to move on, because of you.
I remember. What did you mean by it?
That I finally understand a truth about Glenn. It sounds as though he died with a heavy heart. A heart that carried regret. I had suspected as much. But instead of acknowledging it, I twisted my memory of him to fit an ideal I've been upholding.
I see.
Your Highness, I will not sacrifice my life for anyone. But perhaps instead, I can live my life for someone. I will pledge my life to you.
And how exactly am I meant to interpret that?
However you please, Your Highness.
Oh? Well then. Ingrid, when this is all over, I want you to support and defend me. As my knight. I have been thinking of telling you this for a long time. We get along well, you and I.
As your knight? Yes, yes, of course. Of course I will. I intended to do so for the sake of the kingdom. Together, Your
Right.
Highness, you and I. Our first order of business, putting this tragic war to an end.
Yes. And while we're at it, do not die on me, Ingrid. Promise me that.
Yes, Your Highness. I swear it on my lance.
Right.
Spared again.
So it would seem. I told you that you were extraordinarily lucky.
Sometimes I think that must be true. But why me? Is this the goddess's way of telling me to make something of myself? There are so many others who are much more deserving of life.
I often think the same of myself, especially after battles where many lives were lost. But I must go on living. I cannot give in to death so readily. It is my duty to atone for my sins, and to pay for the lives I've taken. I suppose that must be why the goddess allows me to live on.
Is there a reason she allows me to live?
Only you can know that. But I believe there is a reason. Marianne, life is difficult.
It is a burden. It feels terrible to continue standing when so many others had to fall.
If that is so, then carry on as you are. There is no need for you to force yourself to smile as your soul bleeds. But please, whatever you do, do not give up on yourself or your precious life.
What do you mean?
If you were to die, I would be devastated.
You never have been easy to read.
Is that so?
Everyone says that I need to cheer up. But you may be the first person to tell me not to. Your life must also be difficult for you to understand my position.
So it is. I often feel I am not strong enough to live it.
I think our difficulties have brought us closer together.
Do you?
Absolutely. Please, Dimitri, promise you'll live through this war and long after. I don't know what I'd do with myself if we lost you.
As long as you are carrying on, I have yet another reason to carry on myself. I promise to the goddess of Fodlan that I will never give you cause to despair.
Up this late practicing with your lance, are you?
And what about you? Have you got something on your mind again? You really should go to bed. It is chilly out, and you could catch cold. What's the matter? Have you been having nightmares?
Well, In a certain sense, yes. Can you spare a moment?
Of course.
Thank you. I want to apologize to you. When last we spoke, I mishandled the situation.
Your words that night touched me deeply. It felt as though I had been punched in the gut. But more importantly, I think I owe you an apology. I lied to you.
You did?
Do you recall when I ate that meal you cooked and I told you it was delicious? The truth is that no matter what I eat, I can scarcely taste it. I have not had my sense of taste for 9 years now.
My cooking certainly is not something people often compliment me on.
I am sorry. When I said the food was good, I was just saying what I thought you would want to hear.
An apology is not necessary. You were only trying to be kind, after all.
In the end, I am not sure it was kind.
Just the same, it was nice to hear. Oh, hey! I have an idea! What if you sampled some really pungent food? Or something extremely spicy? Maybe that would...
Flame.
Yes?
I like your cooking. I cannot taste it properly, but in my book, it is truly delicious.
No need for the flattery. Anyhow, maybe someday you will get your taste back. I hope then you will be able to compliment me sincerely about my cooking.
Oh, these are so adorable. Yeah, I don't need to set anybody up anymore. Everyone is at their class they need to be. Let me be plain. I might change plain. I might. Anyways. Well, what do we have this month? We have golden fish. Chat. No, we're going for golden. We're gonna go for golden fish this time. Fish of mystery. That's fine. Okay. Okay. Let's I think I saved it, but anyway. And explore. Oh. Oh boy. Suppose I'll talk to people first. Get that over with.
Can you believe it, Professor? Dimitri actually apologized to me.
I
Remember
know,
that
right?
awful business between him and my Uncle Randolph? He just came by and said he was sorry for all that. That was behind us as far as I was concerned. But even so, it seems like he's changed for the better.
Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it.
Really?
Yes, really. Art of fishing. Oh, there's another item. A lot of fishing. Hey, Bernie.
It's always so peaceful coming back here. But it's hard to relax knowing we have to go out on another expedition again so soon. And now we're headed to the kingdom? That sounds hard. Oh, really hard, don't you think?
It's gonna be. We'll be fine.
Of course you'd say that. Why'd I even ask?
I'm sorry.
I'm relieved the prince seems to have finally come to his senses. Though it's a real shame that Lord Rodrigue passed away. It really is. But now, I think we're starting to see a sliver of hope for the future of Fodlan.
Unbelievable.
All right, since we're here,